join us in the Pledge of Allegiance and singing of the national anthem. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Porfido, the Board of Education, Dr. Groveman, Mr. Wyatt, teachers, parents, and friends. Welcome to the graduation ceremony of the Saddlebrook Middle School class of 2003. As you watch our ceremony this evening, it must seem like only yesterday, teachers, parents, and friends. Welcome to the graduation ceremony of the Saddlebrook Middle School class of 2003. As you watch our ceremony this evening, it must seem like only yesterday that you brought us home from the hospital as infants, heard us speak our first words and watch us take our first steps, walked us to our first day of kindergarten, and attended our moving up ceremony. Our school years have consisted of hard work, fun activities, laughter, tears, and most importantly, great memories. I feel that I speak for my fellow classmates when I say that this night is one of mixed emotions. Some of us will be leaving our teachers and friends, while others are anxious about what the future holds. Regardless of whatever we are experiencing now, we are all excited about beginning high school and are looking forward to the next challenges of the 4 years. This ceremony is not just to recognize our achievements, but also to thank you, our parents, teachers, and friends, for the love, support, and value you have given us. You have helped us arrive at this point in our lives, and we are extremely grateful. The words and song that we speak and sing tonight reflect our feelings towards all of you. We hope that you enjoy this ceremony as much as we enjoy presenting it to you. Thank you.
The students standing before you are proud to be here tonight. 9 years, 9 long years of education and yet another graduation. This is not an ordinary graduation, though. This is the year that all of your children begin to turn into young, responsible adults and enter the doors of high school. However, we 8th graders didn't do it all on our own. Getting here today took a lot of help from all of our teachers, school staff, and friends. Most importantly, our parents. They were the ones who were there for us on our first day of kindergarten and all the years leading up to and including middle school. They were the ones who were at our kindergarten and 6th grade graduation, and guess what? They're here today. They were always there for us, not because they had to be, but because they love us. Therefore, we would like to dedicate this next song, Because You Loved Me, by Celine Dion to you, the parents. Without you, we wouldn't be who we are today. Today, we are thankful for all you've done for us, and Tim Witzel will be accompanying us on the piano. Thank you.
Tonight, the time is here. The moment we have all greatly anticipated has finally arrived, and the journey we all first began to venture on years ago is about to enter a new phase, a phase which will be loaded with countless triumphs and tribulations alike. For this night, as most of this crowd probably already is aware of, is the night of this year's middle school graduation. As I gaze ahead into this large group of parents, guardians, teachers, siblings, and all the other underappreciated facilitators of our daily endeavors, what I see isn't just a massive collection of people, rather, an auditorium loaded with blended emotions, those of, amongst others, joy, sadness, confusion, and even perhaps the most mundane of them all, boredom. After all, when you think about it, we still do have 4 years of high school left. But although that is true, before anybody tries to tunnel their way out of here, embarrassed to walk out in front of such a large, unforgiving crowd, I'd like you to take a glimpse at us for just a second, for just enough time to see those characters you constantly hear about in the stories told to or seen by you each day, to see those fuzzy faces you may not know, who we call our peers, or just to see us for the sea of blue and gold we proudly stand as tonight. And as you stare at us, I'd just like you to envision this flock we're united in tonight, as hard as it may be to do, as a group of birds. Here we are, young, intrepid, and determined, sitting upon this stage, ready to fly freely as high, as far, and as successfully as possible. Our paths unknown, our whereabouts ever-changing, and our dreams, well, those are possessed and known all so well. But as we continually grow mentally, physically, spiritually, and socially, all those answers and more continue to become vaguer and vaguer, yet closer and closer to our future individual domains. And I do mean individual, for our likes, wants, and needs all have realistically proven to be separate. And while we, on this night, are situated upon this stage and these risers, we are reminded of that fact in every which way, with our heads in the air jutting forwards, focusing on our growing ambitions, our wings beside our anxious bodies, preparing for further flight, and our legs bolstering us restlessly upon these wooden platforms, these elevations, these new heights in our lives. We see it as all true, that life is about progression, about change, and most importantly, about will. So today, being that we all obtain that will of life, we call upon ourselves to flap, flap, and flap our wings vigorously some more, until our blue and gold mixes together and becomes a large greenish patch in the sky, reminding us to keep on using our potential, to keep on applying effort to whatever we do, and to keep on believing that the sky is the limit, for it has no end. And if we all try to do that, our future, the future of the Saddlebrook Middle School class of 2003, will without a doubt be one to look forward to. Thank you.
Mitchell, you're a tough act to follow. Those of you who have seen me speak before know that I love a good story, and I especially enjoy stories that have anecdotal or moral messages. I also love to draw analogies from these stories to real life, and since as superintendent it's kind of my job to give some advice to our 8th grade graduates, and then maybe I can even find something that could be some advice to all of us, I came across this story that I'll share with you. There is a story told about an expedition of scientists who were on a mission to capture a particular species of monkey in the jungles of Africa. And it was very important that the monkeys be brought back alive and unharmed. Now, using their knowledge of monkey behavior, the scientists devised a trap consisting of a small jar that had a long, narrow neck. And into the jar, they would place a bunch of nuts. The jars would then be placed on a clearing and then staked to the ground. And the scientists would then just leave the area pretty confident that they would catch the monkeys. And what happened next is really kind of amazing, because the scent of the monkeys draw them to the bottles, and the monkey would reach his hand in, grab the nuts, and as they tried to pull their hand out, they couldn't fit through the narrow neck of the jar. Thus, they were trapped. Obviously, all they had to do was let go of the nuts, but monkey behavior being what it was, they couldn't do that. And so the monkeys were trapped in the anchored bottle, unable to escape because they held on to the reward, but yet unwilling to let go of the nuts. When the scientists returned, they easily took the monkeys captive. Now, we may smile at the monkeys thinking how foolish they were, but in some respects, there's a lesson to be learned here. In fact, there are many times that we, and I'll do a collective we, not just you graduates, that we may act very much like the monkeys in my story. Think about your fears or any of the other excuses that you may cling to that hold you back from doing or trying something. Aren't we captive to those fears and the excuses in much the same way as the monkeys in our story were captive? Simply unwilling to let go. What about our emotions? Can anger, frustration, and life's day-to-day problems cause us to ball up into a fist, unable to get past certain obstacles? For example, consider how you respond to a situation in which you feel you've been unjustly treated by a friend at school or even a teacher. Do you allow the adversity to paralyze you? Sometimes we do. Are you able to let go of those feelings, or do you allow them to negatively affect who you are, how you behave, and what you hope to become? Who here in anger has ever said or thought the phrase, "I'll never forget this as long as I live"? Sometimes when we allow our fears and emotions to negatively control us, are we not holding on to a handful of nuts? Are we not trapped in a jar, spending the rest of our days complaining about being tied to a bottle, yet unwilling to let go? As you step away from middle school and walk towards what awaits you in high school, I urge you not to be lured into the traps that will await you there. Don't allow your fears to dissuade you from trying new things. Don't allow your emotions to become an anchor or an excuse for being anything less than all that you can be. Einstein once said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." And I think that's pretty good advice. Just remember, sometimes you have to let go of the nuts so that you can take advantage of the opportunities. Thank you very much.
Well, now there's two acts that's difficult to follow, Mitchell and Dr. Groveman, and you've been listening to a lot of people talking, so I'm going to take Dr. Groveman's advice that he gave last evening at the high school address: be sincere, be short, and be seated. So I will, and as we kept listening to one speaker to another, I just kept crossing off more paragraphs. My job is to present the class, and before I do so, I'd just like to say that in times, farming community times, this would have been the terminal degree, and we would have applauded you, and then you had told you to get back out in the fields and to start plowing. But I believe that we expect a lot more for our children than our grandfathers had, and our parents had, and we had. And that's the progress that I believe is the American dream. And we hold on to that dream, and I believe that all of us here work very hard toward attaining that dream for our children. So we work together and hope that we can help support them in these next 4 years, at a time when they are going to have many choices that they've never had before. This is the time we really do truly find out what their dreams are, and we find out how they're going to begin to fulfill those dreams. I'm glad that I've heard from the students that they do have the dreams, and that encourages me quite a lot. I'm sure it does you too. And we need to sit down at some time with our children during this time before they begin their high school career and go over those dreams sometime. It's a good time to review them and see what we can do to help them. We are here to help you to help them, and that's our job, and we hope that all together we can do the best that we can. But at this time, I'm proud to announce to Dr. Grobman, on behalf of Mr. Porfido, myself, Mr. Gerber, and the Board of Education. Oh, I think I went dead there. And the Board of Education, if you didn't hear that. I would like to present to you at this time the class of 2003? Right.
Welcome, everyone. You know, when Mr. Saccone first gave me the agenda for tonight, I saw that I was following not only Superintendent Dr. Grobman, but also Mr. Wyatt, and it made me feel a little anxious at first. But then today, after our dress rehearsal for graduation, I also realized that I was following Mitchell, and that really made me nervous. And once again, that was a great job, Mitchell. Let's give him another hand. I have to bring this down a little bit. It gives me great pleasure to stand here before you and share in celebration of this year's 8th grade graduating class. I am happy and thankful to see so many have come in support of all of these fine young students. As parents, friends, educators, and community leaders, we can certainly be proud of the way these young people have accomplished their goals and are preparing themselves for the future. I know this past year has not been an easy one for them, and I am proud of the way they have overcome their many difficulties and challenges that they have been confronted with. In this day and age, when we are all exposed to so many uncertainties and mixed signals, it's no small wonder why our young people sometimes are drawn astray. It is for this reason that we at the community level have an even more pressing responsibility. As influential role models, we can help anchor their beliefs in us, and as leaders, we can further clarify their value systems. This is particularly so in a world where evildoers and sensation seekers overwhelmingly dominate the media. In any event, I think growing up today has difficulties unlike many of those that we faced as young adults. On a personal note, I'd like to thank all the students and faculty for the way I have been so warmly and graciously accepted during my first year as the middle school vice principal. I have marked this year with fond memories, including our trip to Gettysburg. I received a letter following our trip to Gettysburg from one of the tour guides who does over 20 trips every year. And she stated in that letter that she hasn't had a group like the students from Saddlebrook in years. I am grateful for the friendships. Yeah, give them a hand. I am grateful for the friendships and professional associations I have been blessed with, and I am filled with pride to be part of a wonderful team. I am eager to continue in my role and share in the successes of each promising generation of students. I sincerely wish every student today the best of luck as they continue on to high school and beyond. The teaching staff knows that I have a thing for quotes. So if you could bear with me, I have one quote that I think can sum up my feelings about tonight. And this is a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson about success, the meaning of success. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, and to endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a little better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is the meaning of success. Before I conclude, I just want to add a final thought. As I was watching the high school graduation last night, I thought back to when I graduated high school, and it was 17 years ago, and I sat there and said, wow. And looking back on it now, I realized that my high school years were some of the best times of my life. So make the most, graduates, of your high school years and seize the moments that you will treasure for a lifetime. Good luck. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Alicia Hernandez. Kristen D'Alessandro. Justina Franks. Zainab Bukir. Samantha Lolliker. Lauren Heffernan. Amanda Rafferty. Christopher Monahan. Justin Molnar. William Fitzgerald. Matthew Bernato. Timothy Witzel. Kenneth Victoria.
Ariana Pomo. Janice Casada. Christina Carrero. Melissa Mendoza. Melissa Kopachevsky. Corinne Bautista. Lauren Ferrari. Danny Miller. Robert Santos. Ryan Fabre. Christopher Tefaro. Randy Estango. Daniel Quinn. Eric Daview. Taha